Did you ever wonder why car companies do not run A/B experiments in their customers' vehicles to improve fuel efficiency? It's perfectly feasible to build engine control software that would safely allow for experimentation with a wide variety of parameters. So typically, engine control systems have at least tens of thousands of parameters in order to figure out what for every context and every driver profile would provide the best fuel efficiency. On the other hand, if we look at SaaS companies tend to typically run hundreds, if not thousands, of A/B experiments a year for an offering that is often significantly smaller and simpler than a car. And some of these can be quite narrow and seemingly insignificant, such as the 50 Shades of Blue experiment that Google ran about a decade ago or so. So why do SaaS companies run tons of A/B experiments and car companies don't run any at all? And the answer is very simple. It's the business model. A/B experiments in SaaS companies often are concerned with improving conversion or other aspects at revenue that have a direct implication on the revenue and the bottom line for the company. For car companies, if they experiment with fuel efficiency in your car and your car becomes a bit more fuel efficient, they don't make any extra money. So what we see is that the business model has a direct consequence on the support for continuous practices. And of course, I am far from the first one to actually recognize this. And if we look, for instance, at the automotive industry, many of the automotive players have been looking for ways in which they can complement their initial transactional revenue when they sell the vehicle with continuous revenue for updates, complementary services, etc. A few years ago, and there is a figure in the blog post if you're interested, we developed a model that described how companies, as they are transitioning from being traditional companies to digital companies, evolve their business model. Initially, it's pure transactional product sales, where you basically buy the widget, use up the widget, and then buy the next widget. The next business model that companies apply is the product as a service model. That's where you do get the product still as it is, but instead of paying for it upfront, you pay for it as a service. The third step that we've seen is that companies focus on complementary services around products. For instance, in the logistics industry, truck companies offer all kinds of services such as uptime services, tire services, trailer services, fueling services, safe resting place services, you name it. But basically the idea is that we offer a host of services around the product in order to provide more value to customers and have continuous revenue coming in. In the fourth step, we are looking to a situation where you align your business model with the customer KPIs. So for instance, if we continue with trucks, if rather than getting paid for the truck, you now monetize the truck for every on-time delivery that your customer does with a truck. So you don't get paid for the truck anymore, but you get a slice of the revenue that the customer makes whenever he or she makes a new delivery to customers. And the idea here is that now your incentives are directly aligned with those of the customer. So that means that whenever you can do something in a continuous fashion that generates more revenue for the customer, also you will make more revenue. So at this point, you have a business model that supports your continuous practices. There is a fifth step, which I don't want to go into too deep at this stage, but it is the place where we generate data from our primary customer base and we're able to resell that data to our secondary customer base. We've seen cases where hedge funds and other kinds of players want to buy data from companies because they use this, for instance, to improve their investment decisions. But the point of this video is to stress the importance of adopting a business model that allows you to monetize any improvements that you are shipping to customers as part of your DevOps practices. Because in practice, having a situation where you deliver new value to customers on a continuous basis that comes with a certain amount of cost, if you do not have a mechanism for offsetting that cost with additional revenue, Most companies are extremely hesitant to get into the DevOps game because there is no money to be made and you're only adding cost to your R&D organization. So with that, think about your business model because it needs to support continuous practices.